Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, April 19th. Another cold shot headed into the mid-Atlantic region. Will turn way below normal again for tonight and on Friday. A strong cold front is pushing through the region right now with occasional shower activity. The winds will become quite a factor. They'll pick up this afternoon out of the northwest, perhaps gusting to 35 or 40 miles per hour or so. And those winds will continue to be quite strong tonight and tomorrow. Adding to the chill, wind chill values will be noticeable and far less than the actual air temperatures, which will be way below normal for this time of the year. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon likely confined to the lower 50s in general in the D.C. to Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Well below normal for this time of the year. The weekend doesn't look too bad. It'll be cooler than normal, but not bad at all. Dry and cool conditions for the upcoming weekend. Looking ahead to next week, there are signs for a strong coastal storm to form by the middle part of next week in the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame. It could even lead to another significant rain event here in the Mid-Atlantic region. We'll talk a little bit about that over the next few minutes. First of all, a couple of notes about this past winter. What I have up here is a plot of the temperature departures for January to April in the USA, not just the Mid-Atlantic region. This is across the entire country going back to the year 2000. Quite interesting and maybe somewhat surprising to some of the viewers out here. First of all, most of the seasons from January to April featured below normal temperatures. By the way, this right now is through April 16th for 2018. Of course, we're not done with the month of April. But again, this is in the period January through April across the entire country. And only a handful of these winter seasons, early spring seasons going back to 2000 were actually above normal. There's a lot of talk out there that we've had earlier and earlier springs in the local region or across the country. Really, data is not showing that. Most of the time, we've had colder than normal periods from January to April across the USA going back to the beginning of the century. Well, here's one more map I'd like to show before we get to the current weather situation. This is snowfall for the Philadelphia metropolitan region put together by PhillyWeather.com. Not bad at all. In fact, above normal throughout the Philly metro region. This dark blue stripe right here represents 36 to 42 inches. So roughly 40 inches or so cutting across central Chester County into the southern part of Montgomery County and Bucks County. Areas to the north a little bit higher than that, and areas to the south a little bit lower than that. So definitely above normal for the winter season. Philadelphia Airport normally ends up with around 22 inches of snow, and they were above normal as well in this region right in here. Again, above normal for the Philadelphia metropolitan region. In the suburbs, generally 40 inches or so, give or take a few inches. Now, south of the Mason-Dixon line across D.C., far less snowfall compared to the Philadelphia metropolitan region. We're probably done with the accumulating snow for this winter season. Not 100% guarantee, but most likely this is the way it'll shape up for 2017-2018 winter season in the Philly metro region. Well, let's now take a look at the current weather situation. We have occasional showers today. Right now there's a batch of showers cutting across D.C. and into the southeastern part of Pennsylvania on its way into western New Jersey, all associated with the next cold frontal system. That'll usher in much colder air compared to normal for tonight and on Friday. Another batch of showers associated with this frontal system now entering western Pennsylvania. They certainly can produce more showers in the I-95 corridor during the midday and afternoon hours, especially in areas north of the Mason-Dixon line. So, in addition to the showers, we have winds that will become a factor, noticeably picking up in intensity this afternoon, perhaps gusting to 35 or 40 miles per hour or so out of the northwest. Those strong winds will continue tonight and on Friday and will cause wind chill values to be quite noticeable and far less than the actual air temperature. So yet another cold shot arrives tonight and will be felt right through the day on Friday. Well, let's walk through last night's 6Z GFS model run, the surface forecast maps. First of all, here we are early this morning, Thursday morning. Low pressure off the coast and that cold frontal system pushing through right now. Again, another batch of showers still headed for much of the I-95 corridor during the midday hours and into the afternoon. Notice the pressure gradient right here between this low off the coast and high pressure over the northern plains. A tight pressure gradient. Winds will become quite strong later today out of the north to northwest, and that will continue tonight and on Friday as well. Let's keep moving forward here. It turns drier in the overnight hours, but strong north to northwest winds. Cold temperatures again. Another night, late night, where we could get down to near freezing in many of the suburban locations, north and west of D.C., north and west of Philly, north and west of New York City. Any sensitive plants that have been put out there already, take notice, and you may want to be prepared for possible freezing conditions late tonight, early tomorrow. Well, here we go into Friday morning. Still a strong pressure gradient in the northeastern U.S. Those winds will continue to be quite noticeable out of the north to northwest. Even breezy on Friday night, though they'll start to diminish somewhat. Then we get into the weekend. High pressure moves overhead, close enough to the mid-Atlantic region. It'll be a pretty decent weekend. Winds will die down, not a factor. Dry, cool conditions, a little bit below normal for this time of the year, but 60 degrees perhaps for highs in many spots, both Saturday and Sunday. Then another upper level trough will be sliding across the southern U.S. and head towards the mid-Atlantic coastline, and this GFS model run actually pushes that to the north and east right into the mid-Atlantic region by about Tuesday of next week. This may be a little bit fast, we'll see. Bottom line is, in the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame of next week, there very well could be a strong low pressure system near the mid-Atlantic coastline, and that could result in another significant rainfall. Again, we're talking about by the middle part of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. So we'll focus on that over the next few days. But in the short term, yet another cold air mass arrives later today, tonight, and on Friday with strong north to northwest winds. There may be a few more showers to go through before we get into that cold air mass over the next several hours, but way below normal temperatures to close out the work week. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.